things that I have to deal with, getting phone calls 3 in the morning, or someone's family member that passed away's daughter calls me crying because there was a story that we aired that the family kept away from her. And so the first time she's hearing about her father's death is through Trappin Anonymous. You know what I mean? Or dealing with someone that just has a mental break, dealing with this population is taxing. It hurts your soul, your spirit. You just come here and y'all see the clips and the videos, but the truth is, it's hard. It's hard, it's hard, it's hard. And I still got a life outside of this. I still got a family. I still got other work that I work on and things that I do. And I don't know if Trappin Anonymous can continue with my mental health not being addressed and sort of being a priority for me so that I could be a priority for other people. So I do thank everyone who has supported the channel, and it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride. What's good? My name is Chris Styles. This is Trappin Anonymous, and I typically say welcome back, but this time it's not really feeling like that. I've been going through a lot, just mentally, spiritually, dealing with the podcast. I read the comments, I see the good, I see the bad. I'm still human. So I wanted to take this as an opportunity to just be transparent with you guys. It's just so much that y'all don't get to see when it comes to these episodes. Y'all don't get to see the mental health issues of a lot of people on just a wider scale. It's things that I have to deal with, getting phone calls 3 in the morning, or someone's family member that passed away's daughter calls me crying because there was a story that we aired that the family kept away from her. And so the first time she's hearing about her father's death is through Trappin Anonymous. You know what I mean? Or dealing with someone that just has a mental break, dealing with this population is taxing. It hurts your soul, your spirit. You just come here and y'all see the clips and the videos, but the truth is, it's hard. It's hard, it's hard, it's hard. And I still got a life outside of this. I still got a family. I still got other work that I work on and things that I do. And I don't know if Trappin Anonymous can continue with my mental health not being addressed and sort of being a priority for me so that I could be a priority for other people. So I do thank everyone who has supported the channel, and it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride. No, but seriously, I just needed a break. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. Was that good, Carl? Like, was that? I don't know.
I mean, it felt real. Like, oh,
No. Seriously. Well, I think it felt real because everything I said is true. But this is my life's work. This is my passion. This is something I don't mind. If this costs me 25 hours a day, I'm going to spend the 25 hours to get it done. This is my life's work. This is something that I put everything into. No, I'm not. No, Trappin Anonymous is not ending. That was like an April Fool's joke, even though we're in the mid-April. So we're not done. We're not done. I did need a break. I did. It was just after that last episode that we recorded. I mean, it was just so much on the back end, and I just think little thing after little thing. Y'all don't get to see when people cancel on me. Y'all don't get to see when, everything is set up and people just stop answering their phones. Y'all don't get to see, sometimes I'm getting cursed out. Sometimes people are just reaching out to me and they drop the ball. They just don't want to do it anymore, Or when I have to just, the comforting part about all of this is it's much deeper than just like, oh, get on the camera, let's post and let's go viral. Like, no, like I have a relationship with everybody that I've ever recorded with. For the most part, I would say 95%, I could call them right now to answer on the first ring. And I pride myself in that. I really do. I pride myself in being able to have a relationship and having a relationship with my guests. So with that being said, sometimes, like I said, it's the late night calls. Sometimes it's the, yo, Chris, where you at? I just need some help with this. Or sometimes we sending money, and sometimes we're paying for flights and hotels and this, that, and third. And you know what, so we're gonna get to a lot today. I did want to make today a little bit more fun. I read the comments. I see a lot of stuff about, oh, you never have any lighthearted stuff. You never have anything positive. You just always, you know, talking about this negative. So I want to take the opportunity to really have a positive moment and give y'all something fun. So here is 21 questions about Trappin Anonymous that I read in the comments, that I see all the time. And y'all never really get to hear me speak. Y'all never get to really hear the story of Trappin Anonymous. So this is my thank you to all of you. This is my congratulations to Trappin Anonymous. If it were a person, right? Yeah, let's get it.
So what made you start Trappin Anonymous?
It's so weird being on this side of things. It's like super weird. What made me start Trappin Anonymous? Listen, man, I come from Brooklyn, New York, bro. Like, we had $1 million stories right there on my block, and I'm like, dang, like, how could we tell these stories? These are like $1 million blockbuster films, and they're just right around the corner from me. I'm just growing up with these people. These is my colleagues, and I'm like, I want to find a way to tell their stories. And podcasting had just came out, and I'm just like, you know, they can't call CNN, they can't call Oprah, they can't call all of these different people. What if they just talk to me and I build a platform around their stories? And it was like a light bulb in my head, and I was like, yo, we got to bridge that gap. So it started off, Trappin Anonymous was anonymous because I wanted to protect the identity of all my guests. They was talking about illegal activity, they was talking about prostitution, pimping, scamming. So I wanted it to be anonymous. So the voice was distorted, there was no video, and we just got to those really, really hard-hitting stories. I don't have a story like, oh, nobody listened to Trappin Anonymous for years, and then one day, no, like, people always checked out Trappin Anonymous. It was always interesting to people, and I'm just so grateful to God that we was able to produce something that was not only needed in the community, but they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it. So yeah, I started to just be the voice of people that never get their stories heard, and it's just blossomed into the wonderful entity that it is today.
So, like, how do you find your guests?
How do I find my guests? Oh, this is I see this question all the time. Listen, the truth is, my guests find me. And I really do feel like when you're operating in your purpose, whatever God has gifted you with, right? You're not gonna have to work for it. It's not gonna be like a push and pull. It's not gonna be like how am I gonna be able to do this? No, like if you're meeting with such resistance, it's likely not where you need to be. That doesn't mean not fight through. That doesn't mean don't have fortitude. That doesn't mean don't have consistency. But when something is like a roadblock, it's like, okay, maybe it's time to pivot or figure out what exactly I need to be doing. But I said it to say, purpose. I'm in my purpose, and I feel like everything just comes to me. I don't have to look for it. I don't have to go out of my way. So my guests come to me, and I tell them every single time, DM me. I'm right there. I'll respond. Not everybody has DMs, so you can always email me at Trappin Anonymous at Gmail. You can write me on Facebook. You can write me on Instagram. You know, I'm available. I really, it's me. I'm talking to you.
So, how do you not break down and cry in an interview?
Yeah, these questions, how do I not break down and cry during the interview? I have my moments though too. Like I have my moments when off camera, you know, and I try to be as professional as possible, but sometimes my heart is in my stomach, you know. Sometimes you hear some of these stories and I'm just like speechless. I'm sure y'all can read my body language and sort of like how I'm feeling, but it's difficult. It's difficult. It's really, really difficult. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm even speaking to y'all so candidly right now, because that break, I just needed my mental, I needed my mind back, you know. You start to feel like you become it. And yeah, I felt like I was becoming the content. So I had to take a little break.
And do you provide any resources?
Do we provide resources for the guests? I have provided so much counseling, therapy. I've provided different outlets for people to use for their own mental health. And I think the biggest part about this is, people have to want to be helped, right? So I've set people up for therapy sessions. I've set people up for one-on-ones, and they never went. They never attended it. I've also reached out to other people that have taken advantage of this, that have been in therapy for over a year from Trappin Anonymous. I have raised GoFundMe accounts that people that have made over 15 grand, right? Like I've done so much as far as, and it's really user generated. Like when y'all come and volunteer, my DMs be full of so many mental health professionals, psychiatrists, therapists, social workers. All of these people I just take all of that conglomerate and I just shove it back to my guests, So yes, we do provide. Not everyone gets these resources. Not everybody takes advantage of it. But when we do have that opportunity to give that to people, it's the most amazing thing. I feel like that's when I think that's when we really work and operating in a positive and best space.
So where do you see the future of Trappin Anonymous headed?
The future of Trappin Anonymous, the idea that I have for Trappin Anonymous is so revolutionary. It's so game changing. It's so groundbreaking that I don't want to prematurely speak about it. I want to wait till we have all of the resources. I want to make sure we have everything that we need to launch what I want to launch off the ground. And we're not far from it. But when that time comes, everybody will be able to participate in Trappin Anonymous.
So what's the hardest part about putting the content together?
The hardest part about putting the content together, listen, I love my job. I can't wait to get up and talk to people and respond to people. But actually putting it out is that you can't please everybody. You look at those comments sometimes and it's just, it drives you crazy. Sometimes you let that one negative comment overshadow the 1,000 positive comments, right? Like, I hate how he interviews. Right? It's like, where's your compassion? It's like, you know what I mean? It's just those one or two little, and you can't please everybody. And we can't get caught up in people pleasing, right? And a lot of people pleasing is rooted in ego. And I had to remove the people pleasing aspect and just pray to God that everything that we're doing is aligned and is purpose driven. So yeah, but just sometimes, those comments, it's just so brutal. You could be so brutal. I just wish people were a little bit more kinder in those comments.
So how could somebody that wants to get a story told, get it told or contact you?
Oh yeah, like I said, Instagram, @Trappin Anonymous, email @Trappin Anonymous, Facebook @Trappin Anonymous, TikTok @Trappin Anonymous. If you have a story, write me. Please write me. Like I always tell you, I know you're sitting there saying, I don't know if I could do it. I'm not bold enough. I'm not. Sitting in this chair is the bravest thing you'll ever have to do. telling your story is the bravest thing. I envy some of my guests, like really. I envy all of my guests that they even have the gall to sit there and just get it off their chest. Like it's amazing. It's amazing what people do. But yeah, if you, like I always say, if you want to reach out, please DM me. I'll DM you back, and yeah, let's work. Let's start that healing process. Again, I can't tell everybody's story, so we also have to keep that in mind. But yeah.
So what else do you do? Like, do you have any other endeavors?
Man, I host events. I have a curriculum for high school, middle school kids, teaching content monetization. So I'm really heavy in the schools right now. I have real estate, I have properties, I do short-term leasing. I'm a father, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a family man. Like, it's so much that I do outside of Trappin Anonymous. Yes, Trappin Anonymous is my baby. It's my pride and joy. But I have a full plate, man. A full plate. Sometimes I just wish I could just make another me and just get everything done. But we try to do the best that we can.
Why don't you share guests on socials? On socials.
Oh, let's get to it. Why don't I share guest social media on social? First and foremost, not everybody wants to be seen. Not everybody is trying to build their social media brand. Some people are just trying to bring about awareness to their topic, and that's where a lot of guests feel. I do collab with many guests. If you go to the Instagram, if you go to the Facebook, if you go, I do collaboration posts with them. I tag them. Sometimes when they comment, I'll pin the comment. We never gatekeeping over here. If you want to find any of my guests that want to be found, they're right there. And I always make sure to tag if they have a channel. I make sure their comments is inside. You know, I'm about people winning, man. People have been able to do extraordinary things from Trappin Anonymous. People have written books. People have gone on talk shows. People have gone on the Breakfast Club. People have gone on Camp Capone. People have gone on all kinds of different other platforms, and have used Trappin Anonymous as the catalyst. So we never greedy over here. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody, you know, sort of do their thing, especially if they reached out to me and I was able and help me help them so that they could help me and help y'all. So everybody's helping everybody. So there's no gatekeeping.
So why don't you be having any tissue?
Yo, I be reading these comments. Yo, why you ain't got no tissue? Why you supposed to, everybody gets tissue, everybody gets water before the show, okay? When you're talking about the most traumatic thing that ever happened to you, sometimes you'll forget. You'll forget that it's sitting right next to you or sitting under you or you have it in your pocket, you know what I mean? So every time they see me sort of scrambling, trying to get somebody a tissue, it's like, you should have had that already. Everybody gets that before we shoot. I know that's just something people will always be wondering. I'd be like, yo, we give tissue, we have tissue.
Why don't you cover more positive stories?
Yes, why don't I cover more positive stories? This is another great question. I tried that. I tried covering more positive things and nobody watched it. Like this interview won't get half as many as somebody getting abused or shot or, you know what I mean? And I think as a culture too, like it's kind of a little bit messed up that, you know, that we gravitate toward just naturally as human beings, we gravitate to more jarring and heartfelt things. But I tried the positivity stuff, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but nobody watched it. Nobody paid attention, you know. I tried to, and then I started covering stuff that I was interested in, the true crime, and it blew up. So I just try to sort of stay in that pocket, but I'm always looking to talk about positivity or even leveraging my platform for something positive. So yeah, people don't really watch it.
You don't. What was the most shocking story you've heard on an episode?
Most shocking story. The most shocking would probably have to be, the most shocked that I've been during the episode was Child for a Child. Easily. Because I actually found out in that moment, because I remember, if you go back and watch that episode, the young lady left her daughter with a friend of the family, and her daughter passed away while in the guardianship of the friend of the family. And then the young lady that we interviewed, boyfriend, got revenge and murdered the friend of the family's daughter. And I found out about that day. I knew about her child passing away, but I didn't realize the boyfriend was in jail because he murdered and got that revenge. So I was like, whoa, like, why is this not the first thing you said to me? Why, like, I thought we was just covering that story. I didn't realize we were covering, I couldn't believe that the boyfriend killed the daughter after it was just, that was the most, I just never experienced a story with such a twist, ever.
What's the craziest story that you're never going to tell? No, that you never got to tell.
The craziest story that I never got to tell. Oh, now we still might get this guest. I really do want to cover her story, but it was this young lady out in Florida, man. She was in a car with her boyfriend, and he was selling something to another guy. The guy comes and sits behind her in the car, and this guy was a serial killer. So he kills the boyfriend, shoots her, and realizes she's not dead, pulls her out the car, runs her over with the car. She's trapped under the car. He drags her several blocks, several feet, and she survived. And this man was on a killing spree back in the 90s, did time, came. Crazy story. We still might get that story, but I think that might have been the craziest story that I never really got to tell. Yeah, and that's just another time. Like, this happens all the time. They just not ready to talk, and it's not my job to pry. It's not my job to be like, nah, you better say this, you better say that. Like, oh, this will be big, or you could go viral. Nah, like, if a person isn't ready to talk, don't talk. Because a lot comes with this. A lot of attention, a lot of noise, a lot of comments, a lot of opinions. A lot comes with this, so that's important to know.
How do you decide what episodes to take?
Discernment. Some stories you literally hear and you're picking your jaw up off the floor. Some stories you hear and you pick up the phone and you're like, well, can we meet right now? Can we talk? Can I see your face? FaceTime me. Like, let me try to understand what you're saying. We can't tell everybody's story, like I said earlier, and that's just the reality of it. I want to be able to tell every single person's story. Sometimes I'm looking to reach the most people. Sometimes I'm just trying to, if I think a topic just really needs to be heard or talked about, and I just ask God to just really pivot my spirit into the right direction so that we could select the right stories to be told. But I do give everybody a chance to talk. I'm not gonna just write somebody off because the first line that they said I wasn't interested in, right? There's some people that have gotten up here and started telling their story and it explodes. I don't even think it's gonna get that much views. I just think that the story was important. I didn't even think that the story would go viral, but I just felt like it was important, and it goes. Sometimes I think that stuff is gonna go viral, and it doesn't go viral. It's like, you know what I mean? That's why I just feel like it really has to just be rooted in, how you feel, what your purpose is, and the kind of content that you want to create. And yeah, just using that discernment, because if you keep trying to chase the clicks, you can't predict the algorithm. I tell people all the time, you get a good grasp on what will go, what won't go, but you can't predict the algorithm.
What was your most viral moments?
What was my most viral moments? I mean, it started with the youngest in charge. Shout out to Ice. When we first took the blur off of people's face from the Anonymous, it exploded. It exploded. It's something about being able to see a person's facial expressions. It's something about being able to, look in a person's eyes. It's something about somebody actually sitting there talking to you that just resonated with all of the viewers. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Ice went viral. And then Felly from the Bronx, I still remember her calling me, hitting me up, telling me she got stabbed 33 times and she survived. And I was just like, what? Like, we dropped her episode, she exploded. Then she went and did Tasha K, which started a whole thing with Tasha K just taking all my guests. Not taking them, but just contacting all my guests. I pride myself also in doing the work to find every guest. I don't go on other shows and try to look at who's talking, who's saying this, who's doing that, and then trying to get them on my show. I try to give people the opportunity that haven't spoken before, people that haven't gone viral before, people that haven't, people always wrote them off. Every time people come to me, they say, I wrote 15 other pages, none of them responded. You was the first person to respond, I kind of try to look for the looked over. And that even Natasha K led to us doing Chantel Freeman, whose father was recently arrested after coming over here talking about the incest that she experienced, the abuse that she experienced from the hands of her father. And then she went to Tasha K to try to shed more light on her story. And that was just, you really have to just go down the rabbit hole yourself when you can find the time. But they called her a liar. She kind of stormed out of the studio, and it turns out, she wasn't lying. She passed the lie detector test. Her story checked out, and that's what they don't understand, man. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of due diligence. I do a lot of digging before I just get somebody up here to talk, right? I understand the responsibility that having a platform comes with, and I just can't tell people's story. Sometimes y'all think somebody's lying. Sometimes I do extensive research. When I first talked to Chantel Freeman, she was crying so hard she couldn't even get a sentence out about her father abusing her. She couldn't even talk. So there was no cameras on. There was nothing being recorded, So a lot goes into it. A lot. Viral moments. Even the Diddy, Kalina Harper, coming here from Dirty Money, talking about, the Diddy situation and the height of the Diddy situation. Another viral moment was just everywhere. I just remember that exploding. And, being viral is an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. It's not always like what people glamorize to be, I want to go viral. Having that much eyes and ears and opinions, and it's not what's cracked up to be. But when we get through to the people that we're actually speaking to, it's worth it.
So,
and we've gone viral a lot. Like if we want to just pick up and just going viral, don't tell the story. I want people to really know that going viral does not tell the story. It doesn't tell it.
Do you ever feel like you're exploiting?
Ooh, love this question. Do I ever feel like I'm exploiting guests? Because of the nature of the content, I can understand why people might say, you're doing this for the bag, you're doing this for money, you're doing this for recognition. Listen, y'all, this content is so jarring, half of it can't even be monetized. That's the truth. All of the money that you might think somebody's making off of it and this, that, and the third, it's like, won't no ad, no agency pick up this content because of the gravity of what's being spoken about. A lot of this stuff cannot get monetized. A lot of this stuff is demonetized. A lot of this stuff, the payments get cut in half. You might get a quarter of what the episode does viewership-wise because of the nature of the content. So this The $1 million that it might look like that we got because of the numbers or the following, it ain't there. It's just about the word says by the power of their testimony they overcame the enemy. The power of their testimony, because your testimony has power. There's power in sharing your story. There's power in being able to voice your experiences. So many people will learn from you. So much healing is going on with yourself. So, like I said, this is a passion of mine. This is my life's work, right? When I'm long and gone, this will live on. There's no exploitation in that. You know what I'm saying? There's no exploitation in that. This is God's work. This is God's work. It's a lot of times where I could have just brought in other family members to combat stories, brought people back to spice it up, and gotten this person to contradict everything that person said. And I've always declined. You'll never see me up here trying to pander to negativity or trying to grab and reach for more negativity just so we could get more numbers. No, if it's your story, tell your story, and we're gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna do the follow-up to try to get more views or make a mockery of somebody. You know what I mean? That's not what we're about.
Why don't you drop more often?
Why don't I drop more often? Good food takes time. Good food takes time. I never wanted to be a slave to the consumer. I never wanted to just drop because y'all told me to or y'all expecting a new episode. I always wanted to be intentional about the work. I always wanted to make sure that what I was putting out wasn't forced. I wanted it to always feel like natural. I always wanted to feel peaceful. So I don't put out everything. I don't record everything. I don't feel like I have to put it out because y'all said so, or someone else says so, or because you're just waiting for a new episode, or because I feel like I gotta hit a deadline. I lived my life on deadlines for far too long, and I'm just not doing it no more. So you'll get the episodes when the episodes are ready, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible. When the episodes are ready, you'll eat.
Do you have any regrets?
What do you mean by that?
Like, is there anything you regret putting out, or anything that you would reverse in the whole journey?
Do I have any regrets? I don't. I don't have no regrets, man. The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, everything I've been through, my life story, my journey. I wouldn't take none of it back. If you told me this is where we would be 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I say draw it up. Let's run the play. Let's do it again. Trappin Anonymous turns 10 years next year. 10 years. The first 5 years, I didn't make a dime. The first 5 years, it was just trying to find the motivation, the inspiration, and still putting out, still going to work, still coming home, still on tour, still doing this, still doing that. Like, it's about to be 10 years old. This is the first time I came to your crib with the idea to tell people's story. And this is my filmmaker call. Y'all probably, I know we don't share people's identity much here, but you've been instrumental in this whole process, man, since day one. Came here and I told you I had an idea, and whatever idea I come to you with, bro, like, you always did, bro. You always did. So that's a special moment for me, bro. Trust me when I tell you. We don't tell each other enough, but I really appreciate everything you was able to do for us, and let's just keep it going.
And what would you tell your younger self?
What would I tell my younger self? What would I tell my younger self? It's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. I know what you want. I know what you think you need to achieve. I know what you're after. I would just tell myself, let it all work out. This is Trappin Anonymous. My name is Chris Styles. Let's get it. Okay. I mean, this is where the magic happens. It's not much in here, but you know, show 'em. This is the backdrop. It's a light. You know what I mean? It's just the studio. This is everything that y'all get to see. You know, I mean, we could walk through it a little bit if you want, but this is all built from the ground up. My assistant Sonia, she's not here today, but she's another one of the people that is instrumental in making this whole thing possible. She has a secret. I don't know if she wants to share it yet, but she's not here. And this is it. This is it. There's a lot of things that go on in here, so we made history in this building. We made history. The vending machine, bathroom right here. We made history in here. And mind you, this is all the backyard of somebody's crib. You know what I'm saying? We trapping for real. The backyard of somebody's crib. Let's still call in there just a little bit.
Let me just change the ISO back.
You know, that bright light.
Yeah.
Fuck it up. It's already recording? Mm-hmm. So, Carl, what up, man? We here, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Let's get it one time. Yeah, gang shit. That's your seat right there. Who's next? Who's gonna tell it next? Trappin Anonymous, baby.